All right, all right. Let's get everything dialed in. What's up, everyone? Let's let some people come on in here. How's it going? Welcome to episode 122, Six Figure Live. I'm Ben Hartley with Sounds Very Creative, Six Figure Photography, and we're doing Q&A Friday today. I'm super excited about it. I love Q&A Friday because it just creates an open dialogue between us. And I always learn stuff from it, which is fantastic. I'm always learning. I'm always refining from this. You guys, thanks for showing up. We'll kind of wait for a couple other people here to arrive as it is building an audience. Good old Facebook algorithm. So you guys, here's the deal. Q&A Friday. What's going to be happening with this is I've already received, dude, I get so many emails. I have so many questions that hit the inbox. And rather than me just responding to those one at a time, I would much rather kind of do it in this global manner, because if one person has a question, that means other people have questions. And so I've already received a bunch of questions and struggles that photographers are going through. And I just want to talk about it. I want to talk about how we've kind of addressed these things and hopefully help to move forward, move everyone forward. So Chelsea, what's up, girl? Look, if you're just arriving, throw some thumbs up, say hi, get used to using your little keypad here, because I want you guys to ask questions. Like I said, there's already been a bunch that have been asked in advance, but I always prioritize live questions. So as I see a live question come through, I'm going to hop right into that. You guys, if this is your first time joining, welcome. There's 121 other episodes to go and take a look at. The entire purpose of this is really just to help to give you guys someone to give you some inspiration and direction, because it's really hard showing up every damn day and trying to move the needle and trying to get new clients and trying to improve your photography and improve your business. And I want to be that person for you that can help to give you some of that direction and inspiration, and let you know that you can do it and just show up every day for you guys. That's really the heart behind this. The second goal is because it just fills my heart. Like, I love getting a chance to actually connect with you guys and hear what's going on in your world. And it helps move me forward too. So I always appreciate every time that you guys chime in, that you say something. Every little heart I see. All right, you guys. Before we jump into Q&A, by the way, start thinking about questions. Start asking questions. Take advantage of this. No question is off the what's the phrase here? Off the table. There we go. No questions off the table. If I don't want to answer it, I'll just tell you I don't want to answer it, but I'll at least read it. So here we go, you guys. We're on the final day as well. This week on Monday, I sent out a dope-ass email. On Wednesday, I sent out another one on strategies and techniques to get new leads, to get new clients. I've got one more that's going out here shortly for you guys. The last one that I'm sending out today is, it's going to be maybe for the photographer who's not just getting started out, right? I think the first two are for like moving to a new city, or you're just starting out. This is one for maybe who's been in business for a little while, and it's a little bit more of the longer play. But it's so important. It's so critical to doing what you guys do. So anyhow, that's getting started here soon. So keep an eye out for that email, you guys. I'm all in right now on getting leads. I'm all in right now on getting clients and getting our whole team booked. If you guys don't know it, Sounds Very Creative, there's 3 full-time head photographers. And so unlike you guys, not all of you guys, but unlike many photographers who only have one photographer, we've got 3. And we managed to get booked up in an entire year. And so I just want to show you guys what we're doing and how we're doing it. We have a little over 50 weddings booked for already 2017. I'd like to get a few more going. But it's booking season, you guys. This is the time. Like, now is the time to start getting this stuff done. And if you feel like you're too late, then it's like you got 2018 to start worrying about. So anyhow, take a look at that. Victoria, what's up? Peter, how's it going? Chelsea, I'm at a point where I want to take a couple big steps back in. Chelsea, explain that a little bit further. I'd love to hear more of what you're thinking. All right, guys, I'm going to... Oh, you didn't need to send that yet. That's awesome. So here we go. We're going to jump in and start taking a look at some questions. I'm going to get some answers going. Once again, it's Q&A Friday, so ask questions. I'm going to prioritize the live ones because I like to stay on my toes, right? This is a great opportunity, guys, to completely throw me off my game. So ask me some good questions. Like I said, I already have a bunch here at the inbox. You guys, just so you know, if you get an email from me, I'm the dude on the other end. Like, sometimes I shoot you guys emails, and I get these responses back that are like, "Hi, autoresponder Ben," or like, "Hi, robot Ben. I'm sure you're not reading this, but just in case you are, Here's what I have to say. And I always crack up about it because it's literally me responding to you guys. And so, look, I've asked so many of you the question, what's one of your biggest struggles that you face as a photographer? And I've gotten a bunch of responses back. And so I want to go over some of the ones that I just received this week, because if one person struggles with it, then I promise you there's a bunch of other photographers that struggle with it too. And so I just want to kind of address it. Ryan Gandy says this. Live question coming in. What was the process like going from a husband and wife team to a studio with multiple photographers? I'm interested in doing that here in Charlotte with a couple of guys. Ryan, it's really hard. It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult to go from a husband and wife team to a full studio setup with multiple photographers. Even that is pretty general because there's a lot of different ways that you can actually structure the company in terms of are they full-time, are they associates? Well, I mean, what's going on with it? And so I would say that a couple of the biggest challenges for doing it. One is when you're a husband and wife team, you're often branded as such, right? You're like Ryan Gandy photography or whatever it may be, and so then you start bringing on people that aren't Ryan Gandy, right? And now it's really hard to start to book them, and so a rebrand had to happen, which just meant in a lot of ways rebrand felt like starting over. We had to reacclimate our audience to who we are, and that hey, we're still Ben and Les, but now we're Sound Story, and you know, there's all those challenges that come with it. The next thing is this. I think a lot of photographers, they're thinking about like all this associate stuff and can I bring in more photographers because they think of cha-ching, right? You think more money, I can make more money. Can I just tell you, like, it's really expensive. Honestly, it's really expensive to do. And now the stakes are so much higher. When you start supporting other people, right? Like all my crew, they get health insurance. Do you realize how much health insurance is now? They're depending on me, and so like the stakes are higher. When a couple has a problem with maybe another shooter's images, guess whose fault it is? It's not their fucking fault. It's your fault. Guess who's got to handle all of the liability? And so like I just want to caution people. Like it also takes a very sincere and honest heart behind it too. Like I guess there's the other side. I think there's certain business people are all about like, hey, how can I maximize this business? And they just roll it in, right? And they come up with a system and they just funnel people through that system, and the turnover rates, they don't really give a shit about the turnover rates because they're running a business and they're doing the thing. I just can't do that. If I'm gonna have a team, man, like I want a team of people that I so deeply care about and I enjoy going to work with. For me, it was all about people, and it takes selflessness, to be quite honest. If you have a selfish bone in your body, then don't do it, man. Ryan, I know you, and so I think that you could actually pull this off, but it's hard. It's hard. So anyhow, there's lots of challenges. Shoot me a call, Ryan. We'll talk more about it. But it's incredibly difficult. I don't think it's the right move, by the way, for everyone. I think it's a very rare situation. For me, by the way, the biggest reason behind why we did it is because I know the exponential growth that occurs when you surround yourself with amazing people. When you surround yourself every damn day with amazing photographers who are pushing you to love people better, who are pushing your work further, who are pushing the systems and the ideas that you have in place, who are pushing even your own relationship with people around you. Like I just wanted to be a better person and to not be in a vacuum waiting to go to some conference once a year to get inspired. I want to be inspired every damn day by the people that I'm surrounded with. And so look, like even at the end of the day, like if I don't make any more money, I'm doing it. If I lose money, I'm doing it because I love Ben Adams, I love Stephen Lowe so much that I just want to be around them, right? Anyhow, let's keep going. Cody, dude, I've just started getting responses to strategy number 2. Thank you for the tip. It's giving me some confidence in my ability. Cody, that's so awesome, man. Thank you for letting me know. You guys, every time you express gratitude and let me know that things are working or whatever, it just means the world to me. So Cody, I'm so stoked. Dude, props to you, man. I just sent that email out on Wednesday and you've already implemented it. You badass mother effer. Okay, Dina says this. Hello, I just PM'd you because I didn't realize it was Q&A Friday. No worries. Let's just read your question, Dina. When you include an engagement session with a wedding package, what do you give with it? A number of digitals or print credit? Dina, we've done different things with engagement sessions in regards to when a client gets an engagement session, what do they actually receive from that? So, look, this is one that it just depends on how your business is structured. how your engagement sessions are structured. So for us, an engagement sessions costs $1,400. Okay, $1,400 engagement session. So it's not. Some people do an engagement session almost like it's a session fee, right? So maybe like a $200 engagement shoot or a free engagement shoot, and then they'll come in and they'll do essentially a portrait in-person sales session, and you can totally do that. For us, at $1,400. They're going to get those prints, the print release for those. We could take the time, and even with giving them a print release, spend time doing maybe an engagement album or doing some wall art for them. We very much could, and to be honest, it would be very successful if we were to do that. Right now, with just everything that we've got going on, not just with Sound Story, but also with Six Figure and showing up for you guys every day, from a timing standpoint, we have not carved out the time to do that. But I'll tell you, if you carve out the time to actually start meeting with your couples and providing wall art to them and providing albums, even from an engagement shoot, you will win. Not only you will win, but your clients will actually have more memories preserved, more physical things. For us, to answer your question really specifically, when someone brings us on for an engagement session, look, at $1,400, it's okay. Plus, again, it's a whole macro thing. I know the dollar amounts that I need to make. I know everything that goes into each wedding, and so that's what we do. But hey, please, I think that if you're going to do in-person sales, if you're going to do wall art and stuff, it's a fantastic opportunity to do it. All right, Chelsea, I wanted to take some steps back and focus on education and then jump back in. What is your opinion on that? Is that too dangerous? How to best communicate that to clients, if that makes sense? Chelsea, I'm confused by your question. I wanted to take steps back and focus on education and then jump back in. Chelsea, when you say you wanted to take steps back and focus on education, do you mean that you wanted to take steps back from shooting and go and learn more and then step back into photography? What do you mean by that question? I want to make sure I answer it right for you, okay? Mel says this, yes, the team becomes family, 100% girl. Ryan says, great answer, thanks for that. Awesome, man, I'm stoked for you. Jessica, hey, thanks for tuning in. Ryan says this, for us, Lacey is on the fast track at ESPN. They have big plans for her. Good job, Lacey, that's so awesome. And the baby is on the way, amen. So we're discussing her possibility stepping out. Yep, Ryan, that makes sense. When Leslie stepped back because of babies and her choice, I think that, again, it's that vacuum of doing this every single day alone. And look, even if you're not going to bring on a team of people, what does it look like just to begin to find some sort of communal workspace, maybe with other photographers that you guys could rent out together? There's a lot of these co-op spaces that you guys could occupy together and go and work on things and keep growing your individual businesses alongside one another. I think it'd be kind of cool. Peter says this, about to go into the doctor, so I can't hang around. Hope everything's okay, Peter. But in regards to your first email about the dream team, you mentioned that you should do a style shoot with everyone. How do you include people like wedding planners in a style shoot? Peter, good question. For us, when we chose a planner, like there's a difference too between a planner and a coordinator. It starts to feel like semantics, but like I want to be working with not just a planner, like a day of planner, but like an overall coordinator, a stylist, a designer who's also they're supplying like rentals and they're styling and designing things. And so I step in and I say, hey, these are some ideas, but I'd really like you to run with an aesthetic and a style design for it. What do you think? And allow them to weigh in on that. Great question, Peter. Hey, Megan, darling. Dina, awesome. Tony, hey, man. Tony said, how about like an email number 2 when you did the free engagement session? Did you give them anything or just the session? Great question, Tony. For that, I'm all just trying to. There's a couple things you could do it. You could do it a number of ways. It just depends again on what you want to provide, what you want to try to sell, all that kind of stuff. For some people, they would say like the smart thing is do the session for free and then bring them in for a post sale session because of the intention of what you're trying to do with that. I find that a little bait and switch. To do a contest, to give away a free session, and then say, oh, you want the pictures, you have to come in to buy the portraits, whatever. It feels bait and switch because it's a giveaway, right? Because you held this contest for a giveaway, it feels bait and switch to do that. I don't want to do that. Like my goal is to convert them into a paying client for a higher dollar amount. Like I'm not going to, what's the phrase? Throw away dollars for pennies. right? And so I want them to have an amazing experience, have the access to the online gallery, the digital files, or whatever, and then and I want to get them in as a wedding client. And so I'm not going to trade dollars for pennies. Once again, because it's a giveaway primarily, Tony, because it's a giveaway, it just feels like even more bait and switchy, because you're saying, hey, I've got this contest, I got this giveaway, get a free engagement session. Oh, and by the way, if you want anything from it, you got to pay me. That feels kind of smarmy. It just doesn't set right for me. I'm just following my gut with that. It doesn't set right. Awesome. Lindsay, hey Ben, fellow BG alumni, awesome girl, go Falcons, what's up? Jacob says this, what's the difference between a regular shoot and a styled shoot? Jacob, I recommend having two different options with your engagement sessions, right? This is a similar thing with albums or with wall art or whatever. Have 2 to 3 lines that you offer. And so rather than just saying, hey, here's an engagement session, I also want to give people the opportunity if they want to make that engagement session better, right? And so a natural session is going to be more basic. The couple shows up however they want. I show up, we make it happen. It's going to look amazing. 1 hour shoot, 1 location, 1 photographer, 1 outfit. That's it. Style shoot's different. Style shoot is we're going to work with a couple ahead of time to fully create like a design board, a style board of like what's the feel and look of the shoot. You know, the guy going to wear to come with the girl, and is it more formal or casual? We can do both because it's maybe 2 to 3 hours, multiple locations, multiple outfits, 2 photographers, right? It's just like a more holistic kind of approach to shooting. And so we like to give our clients the option: do they want to upgrade to one of those other things? Awesome. Tony says this, that was my thought, IPS following the session. Yeah, Tony, you could do it. It depends on how you would shape that. You'd have to be really intentional about it. To me, again, because it's a giveaway, I want a giveaway to be a giveaway, and it feels a little back-endy. It feels a little bait and switch to go ahead and then try to convert into a portrait or an album sale. I think you could do it, but I would much rather see it maybe happen in a slightly different manner. So and by the way, I might be being conservative on that too. Look, I fully believe in getting paid for your work. That particular technique that I was talking about in technique 2 is really, look, if you're sitting on your hands and you're not shooting and you don't have clients coming in the door, then just do something, right? Then start shooting, like start hustling, start working. I think that if you're getting leads and there's other ways that you're attracting clients, then it might not make the most sense, right? If you're busy shooting, it might not make the most sense. But if you're just starting out, then I think yeah, it makes sense. Okay, cool. Peter says this, I saw you did a live stream unboxing some Miller's albums on your website. You mentioned using Fineo albums because they're quality as well. Any preference on the two? Peter, good question. Look, there's a ton of album companies out there. And you guys know I don't BS anything with you. And so there are certain companies that are like, what's the word? Structured or they're more, I'm trying to think of the right word here. They're like just technically better in certain ways, right? Maybe the leather is sourced from Italy instead of from, I don't know, but they might be technically better in certain regards. Like I think like there's like Queensberry, right? Or like Leather Craftsman, and there's certain things that are going in albums. So by all means, Miller's isn't necessarily for like the end all be all in terms of the most amazing, perfect, best in the world quality, but it's kind of the law of diminishing returns, and at a certain point you have to value other things, right? So for example, for me, Miller's is it's phenomenal quality. I love the quality that I get at Miller's. I'm getting an archival 200-year album, and it's to me it's just it's perfect, right? However, there is that law of diminishing returns that says like, well, what if I make a little bit better leather, or what if I could do a different font in this thing? And at a certain point, the law of diminishing returns says like, is it going to be worth that much more? And instead, I've got to start valuing other things. For example, customer service. For example, shipping time, right? Like I go to order an album from Leather Craftsman or whatever, and it's going to take like 2 months. And I want my client to have something sooner than that. And so at that point, the law of diminishing returns says 2 months or next day. Look, if it was a 2-day difference, again, law of diminishing returns, fine, no big deal. But when we start looking at those big gaps, once again, going back to customer service, being able to get replacement albums if there's ever any sort of concern or question that I have about a quality of something. Hey, there's a flaw here, no problem. We'll next day ship you a new album, right? Which is something that we just had to do recently. So I think it's I just have to value all those things. So occasionally when I do have that client, that's the $30K, right? $30,000 client who wants the the Louis Vuitton, so to speak. At that point, maybe I'm going to go and take a look at something that's just completely not a normal offering that I would do, and offer it to them. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Okay, cool. Let's keep going here. Okay, where I gotta keep going back. Okay, cool. Jacob, awesome, glad. Cody, hustle, that's what's up, man. Ryan says we switched to Miller's after Mystic seminars, and damn, the customer service has blown us away already. Exactly, man. I think you can't just judge something on the strict quality of the product itself. There has to be other things that go into the decision. Morgan says this: I have a meeting with my first bride and groom in an hour. Any tips? Mostly to get to know them and to go over the contract. What else should we discuss? Morgan, you're like last minute, girl. You have a meeting with a client in an hour. Any tips? With my first bride and groom in an hour. Okay, so wait, Morgan, has the client already booked, or are they a lead? Are they a lead or are they a client? Tell me this, Morgan. I need a better answer your question, but I don't know if they're a lead or if they've actually booked you yet. Let me know. Victoria says this: I did 32 free engagement sessions last year. Definitely helped me become a better photographer. Hell yeah, it did, Victoria. It helped you become a better photographer because you practiced. It helped improve your portfolio. It helped get the word out there about now 32 couples know your name and they're showing people their images. Like that now just push your brand out there into the world, right? And you could have sat in your hands and been like, woe is me, all these other photographers keep getting clients, I can't find anyone to work with me. So good for you, girl. That's effing awesome. Peter says this is awesome, thank you. Awesome. Gary, Black River Imaging has a 3-day turnaround. Awesome, Gary, that's rad. So look, there you go. There's a ton of album companies out there, right? Like I have my loyalty, and you may have yours. All the power to you. I'm going to keep an eye on the live comments. Otherwise, I'm going to hop in and take a look at some of the ones that I've received in advance. We're going to do that now. Awesome, you guys. Thanks so much for all these thoughts and questions. Let's jump right in. Let's see here. Jasenia says this. Jasenia. How do you close a deal? Like you're meeting with a client, and how do you bring up payment and the contract? Okay, how do you close a deal? Okay, cool. Peter, I'll tell you your answer your question in a minute here. So here you go. How do you close a deal? So you're meeting with a client, you're sitting down with them. How do you actually make that transition to discussing photography and connecting with them on a personal level to actually closing it up? I think there's a couple quick things. One is just own it. Like there's no reason to feel awkward. They've intentionally met with you because they are interested in hiring you, okay? And so when it comes to closing the deal, by this point, all the given has happened. We've gone through all the contract, all the questions have been answered. We've addressed the packages. I simply I sit back in my chair like I own the space, and I say, would you like to reserve the date? That's it. But you say it. You don't say like, so would you guys like to move forward? Don't say that. It sounds like you don't even know if you want to move forward. I sit back in my chair. I own the space because it's my effing house. And I say, would you guys like to reserve the date? And at that point, they look at each other. And they either say something like, we need some time. Sure, let's do it. I don't know. How do you accept payment? Right? And then accept payment right then and there. Right? We can do credit card or check, whichever you'd prefer. And then once they say, yes, I want to reserve the date, you better lose your effing mind. You better show them some excitement and some joy and some passion and be like, I'm going to be a photographer. I'm so freaking stoked, right? But I think that don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just literally ask, would you like to reserve the date, right? Literally just straight up ask them, all right? They'll tell you what's up. And then when you ask them, would you like to reserve the date? Shut the fuck up, right? Would you like to reserve the date? Don't say a thing. And just let them think about it. Let them talk about it. Be okay staying in that silence, okay? There we go. Sorry. Jamie Schneider from Dark Ruiz is calling me. Anyhow, so there you go. Ask if they like to reserve the date and then don't say anything else. And just let them tell you. Don't overthink it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Kristen loves Millers too. Fantastic. Peter says this: how has your search been for an alternative to Pixie Set? Peter, I've already made the transition. We're in the process of making it. I'm moving over to Shootproof. And so once I'm fully in, then I'll explain everything of the decision making. But right now, I want to get fully in, and I want to get fully acclimated, so that way I can give you an actual rundown of why I made that switch. So it's a little premature for me to answer it too much, but just so you know, I'm on Shootproof, and we're going to be no longer on Pixie Set. So good question, man. Mel says, thank you for your confidence and enthusiasm. That's awesome, girl. Megan, darling, I'm not going to be at WPPI. My wife is having twins. I've been gone too many conferences. And so it's just to take a week away from my family, to put a week of Leslie trying to take care of a toddler while being a couple months away from delivering twins. It's just not worth it. So I'm bummed I won't be able to be there. But you know, priorities. Kristen, why don't you like Pixie Set? Hey, I'm going to get into Pixie Set and Shootproof down another time when I can fully flesh it out for you guys. It's not that I don't like Pixie Set. It's that I like Shootproof more. All right, understand that. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. All right. So here we go. Oh, shoot, I forgot to write this person's name down. They said this. Where do I go from here? I've got gear, I've got flashes, and I've got the knowledge. And I've got friends that are also photographers, but nobody wants it as bad as I do. And again, I don't know whose question this is. I forgot to write the name down, but they said, what do I do next? I want it so badly, but my friends around me don't want it as bad as I do. What's the next move? Dude, I probably think the next move is find friends and find people to surround yourself that want it as bad as you do. Let's be real. Like, show up every day with me, because I want it as bad as you do, man, right? Just because I'm currently today, right? What's today? February 3rd, 2017. Just because I currently have it, right? I want tomorrow as bad as you do. I want next year. Like, it's the hustle. It's the constant process. And so probably surround yourself with people that want it as bad as you do. If you've got the gear, if you've got the talent, if you've got the flashes, right? Then surround yourself with other people that want it as bad as you, and start shooting your ass off. Like, just start shooting every damn day. Start shooting everything you possibly can. Start doing everything. There's not one thing that I can tell you to do that's going to like just make it work. Do everything. All right. And what is everything? Just show up and talk to me every day, and you'll learn some things. Okay. But I think it's finding a community of people, go to a conference. Find some inspiration there. Maybe you don't show up and talk to me every day. That's okay. Go to Mystic, right? Go to Mystic. Go to United, and you'll find the people that want it as bad as you do. They'll just show up, because the people that invest in themselves, that invest back into their business, those are the people that want it as bad as you. Everyone else just talks, and just to be candid with you, they just take in free stuff, and that's okay. There's a lot of great free content out there, but when you only take in free content, you don't do shit about it, because there's no piece of you in it. There's no stake in the game, right? The people that show up to Mystic, the people that show up to WPPI and stuff, there's stake in the game. They've just put money up front, and now they're willing to follow through with it. All right? Find people that are willing to follow through. Thanks for asking, though. Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, Megan, Beyonce's having twins, too. Yeah, Beyonce totally stole our thunder. That's all right. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. I met Qua at Mystic. He sent me a message and said, I need help getting leads in the door. Dude, Qua, hopefully you got my last 3 emails on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I just sent you guys ideas on exact practices to help get leads in the door. I have a whole big course that I'm putting out next week, I think on Tuesday. I'll probably just have it out for like 5 days. You guys, by the way, I'm going to put this course out next week for like 5 days. And the reason why is I want to put it out there. And I'm confident it's going to blow people away, but I want to put it out there, and then I want to make it better. And so I want to hear from you guys, and I want to understand how can it be better, and then I'm going to make it better, and then I'll put it out again later, and everyone else who already bought it will get the updates and everything like that. But dude, go back, take a look at those last 3 emails, Qua, because I think that's some great opportunities to get leads in the door. I've got a bunch of really positive feedback from it. Okay, cool. Cody, got a live question here. Cody says this: what are some good conferences around the Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia area? Done some research, but can't pinpoint anything specific. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't be so restricted. I'm from Ohio. I'm from the Midwest. Have I ever attended a workshop or a conference in the Midwest. I've held one, but like I've never gone out and attend. I'm always like flying to Portland or like flying to California or going to the West Coast or East Coast. So I don't know, man. But I'll tell you what. Here's what I will show you. I have an entire list that I've put together of all of the conferences that I could possibly find, all the conferences, a number of workshops, and I'm going to drop that link in for you guys. Like literally, I took the time and I researched all of the photography conferences that I could possibly find for you guys. So hold on 1 second. Dude, this is pretty dope, actually. No one knows that I do this stuff. Okay, here's an entire list of conferences with their date, where they're at. Is it a conference? Is it a workshop? And the location of it with a link to where you can sign up for that conference. Boom. I'm going to drop it in there for you guys right now. 1 quick second. If you find it valuable, share it. Let's see here. Okay, I'm putting this in the comments right now for you guys. Boom. Photography conferences, Cody. There you go. It's an entire list, the complete list of photography conferences that I could find. Here's the deal. If you see one on there, or if you don't see one on there, if you're like, what about this one? Then effing just email me, tell me, because I want to add it to it. So let me know if there's one on there that should be on there. Please let me know, and I want to update this list and keep making it the best list I can possibly do. Okay, cool. Peter says this. Have you ever had clients that have been downright rude when you tell them your pricing? If so, how do you deal with it? No. I'm sorry. No, I haven't. How would I deal with it? I don't no, actually I did have someone who came up to me at a bridal show and was upset about my pricing. They said, how dare you charge as much as you do? Who else around you, if you look at this bridal show, charges as much as you do? And I said, look around this bridal show. Who else around you do you see that does what I do? And then I simply said this, it's supply and demand, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't tend to have a bunch of rude people. I don't know how to answer that, man. But don't answer it back. I would say don't answer back with rudeness. I would just justify yourself and then move on. Okay, more questions. Let me see here. I had a few more that hit the inbox. Let me get back to them. Okay. Heather sent me an email and she said a lot of things, but one of the things that she had to struggle with is she's really struggling just juggling it all, right? She's got a lot going on, juggling it all. And I'm going to have to interpret what she said here, but she said, raising my prices has not made a difference. I can't seem to juggle it all. The way that I interpreted that is she can't seem to juggle it all in terms of marketing and editing and connecting with clients and meetings and album design and wall art and shooting and all this stuff. And so she raised her prices, and it still isn't happening. And she's thinking about hiring someone on. Look, if you're raising your prices, and you're still so crazy busy, then hey, that's awesome. Good for you. It's so rad. That's a really good problem to have. You just need to keep raising your prices. There's actually, I've been at some conferences where I've met photographers that are like, they shot 75 weddings, 80 weddings this year. Sounds like someone needs to raise your prices. Like that's all I keep thinking about. If you're doing 50, 60 weddings in a year, someone needs to raise their prices, right? I would much rather do 25, 10K weddings rather than 50, 5K weddings. And so anyhow, raise your prices. And so I think that so often we get scared to do that. And so a couple rules when raising your prices. One is, don't jack them overnight. Don't double it overnight. Do it slowly and consistently. I have 3 rules when raising prices. Number 1 is every quarter we just analyze where we're at, right? And so we just evaluate, we audit. Every quarter we audit. And so that's 4 opportunities to raise our prices in a given year, right? So that's what we do. We see how are our bookings, how are our numbers, how are our clients, where are we standing, right? Do we need to raise prices? Do we need to lower prices? What do we need to do? So every quarter we take a look at where our prices are. The next thing is this. We will also raise our prices anytime that we invest in ourselves. It's a rule. It's a rule that I've been hard and fast on. If I'm going to spend $2,000 to go fly out to Mystic and invest in myself and grow in my photography and grow in my business and grow in the ways that I'm going to serve and love my people, then I'm going to raise my prices from the reaction of doing it, right? It's a self-respect thing, right? It's because I've always understood that I value myself, I value my time, and I value my talent. And if I'm going to improve that talent, then it's the law that if my talent's improving, I'm going to raise my prices. So anytime you invest in yourself, you should be raising your prices. The next thing is this. Anytime someone goes with one of our top collections, right? If someone goes with our $15,000 collection or whatever it may be, we're going to slowly raise our prices. Now, when I say raise our prices, does that mean $1,000? No. Maybe it's 100. Maybe it's 150, maybe it's 300, right? But it's a slow and steady process. Don't get scared and don't get comfortable, right? I think it's okay, actually, if you're first starting out in the market to start in at a lower price point. But don't get comfortable and don't get scared. Those are the two reasons why you stay there and the two reasons why you'll sabotage your business and you'll have all the other photographers pissed at you because they'll be like, man, shutter-click photography still starts at $700. So don't get comfortable. And don't get scared. Raise those prices up slowly but surely. Awesome. Kristen, thanks for all of your honesty and openness, sharing what you do to your business. Help us all. Appreciate it. You got it, girl. Any day. Okay, let's keep going. A couple more hit the inbox. All right. Lauren shot me an email and she said, I love albums, but I don't try to sell them because I assume people don't want to pay for them. And she says this, I make a lot of assumptions and it's holding me back. It's one of my biggest struggles. Dude, here's the deal. Everyone does this, by the way, Lauren. So it's not your fault. Everyone, we all do this because here's what happens. We think about our own behavior, but we think about our own behavior in two things. One is when we're not our ideal client. And two is we think about our own behavior outside of the context of what's occurring. So what I mean is this, I could not afford me. I am not my ideal client, okay? So please understand that. I'm not my ideal client. And so I'm making all these assumptions with all of my life and all of my living, but maybe that's not what my client is. Don't assume. The second thing is this. It's outside of the context. You're solely thinking about albums, only knowing what you know. You're only knowing what you know, and for you, you feel like, it's an album. I could get it for, $500. Why should I sell for that? It's not that much work. It's like, and you're not thinking about it in terms of the value that it has to offer your clients. And so please, don't make those assumptions. And I get that it's a struggle of yours, and I've made the struggle too, right? And so many photographers have, and it's the assumption that gets in the way of sales. This is like a boiled down version of how I believe sales are. Okay. And it's really simplified things. And anytime you want to start making an assumption and shortchanging not just yourself, but your client, remember this. Sales is a 3-step process. The first thing that you have to do let's just talk about for the sake of albums. The first thing that you're going to do with an album is, for starters, you have to offer value. You have to offer something of value to start, right? This is the 3-step process for sales. Offer value. I'm going to offer an album to my clients, okay? Not only am I going to offer an album, but I'm going to offer them the opportunity, if they want to get more pages or to make it leather or to do some etching or to get a duplicate parent album, right? So offer value. Give them the opportunity to offer value. The second thing you have to do is you have to explain. You have to educate on why it's beneficial. You have to offer perspective. So it's one thing to offer value, but so often we miss the second part. We say, here's an album. It costs $1,000. No. I don't want it. Of course they don't want it. Here's an album, right? Here's why it's beneficial. Here's why it actually has value to you. And explain that. Give them perspective. Offer stories. Don't talk about the leathers made in Italy. Don't talk about the pages are a 1/4 inch thick. Talk about stories and perspective and why an album has benefit for their life, right? Why physical memories are more important than digital ones. The value that has. So you've offered value. You've explained the benefit of it. And then the third thing is this. Give them freedom of choice. Give them freedom to choose how much value they want, right? Dude, I get so pissed off when I go to like a frozen yogurt place. This happened to me actually. There's a little place right around the corner from our office, and I wanted them to put some effing gummy bears on top of like my slushie. And they said, we don't do that. I said, bullshit, you don't do that. I'll pay you money. I want gummy bears on my slushie. How much money is it? We don't do that. No, you don't get it. I've got a $5 bill here, okay? That's a lot more than those gummy bears cost. I want to give you this $5 bill, put some gummy bears on my slushie, and they wouldn't do it. And it drove me insane. They were restricting me from the freedom of choice. I give clients the freedom to choose how much value they want, and don't assume you think you know what that is. There are so many clients who, look, this is true too. Sometimes we go into situations, they're like, oh, they're just out of college. they're just out of college and they just bought a house, I probably shouldn't see if they want to go with a leather album. I should just keep it pretty minimal. Maybe I won't do a full premiere date with the whole album sale thing because I don't think they're going to be able to afford that. I don't think they really want it right now. I'm going to go ahead and make that choice for them, right? Don't assume, you guys. Give clients the freedom of choice to decide how much value they want from you. When you start removing that from people, it's a disservice, okay? All right, cool. How simple do you keep your product list? Andrew, pretty simple, but I want to give people the opportunity to choose more value if they want more value. And so there's always a collection, and then there's always an a la carte option that they can add on more. Megan, darling, they denied you gummy bears. So rude. Megan, I was fuming. I really was. I couldn't believe that I had money in my hand and I was like, take my effing money. But they denied me the freedom to choose more value. And okay, let's keep going. I got one more question here that's hit the inbox, and then I'll prioritize you guys if you have anything else. Otherwise, I'm going to get going and make some things happen here. Steph, this is an easy one because I really don't know. I'm curious, actually. I'm going to put this question out there, and I'm curious if you guys have experienced this. So please pay close attention, dial in on me. I had this question that hit my inbox, and I want to know if you guys have the same struggle, because for me, I could not relate that well. I'll address it here in a minute. Are you ready? Here we go. Stephanie says this. I'm getting frustrated because brides aren't considering me to be their photographer simply because I don't also offer video. They want someone who does both photography and video. I try to explain that I focus just on photography, but they keep going in different directions. So Stephanie, the first thing is this. We have this problem sometimes, but that's only because we started offering video and people saw them and they were like, oh my God, these videos are amazing. I want you to be photo and video. And then we've pulled back on our video coverage. And so other than that, though, I haven't had very many people reach out and say, I want both. And if you can't do both, I'm not interested. Maybe it has to do with the location you're at or your market. My guess is it has a lot to do with your surrounding competition. My guess is a lot of the photographers in your area are doing both. And it's becoming an expectation within your local market that maybe my local market, I'm not used to seeing that. And so I'm having a hard time really helping you out on this question, to be quite honest with you. I wish I could do more to help you out. I guess I would focus in on trying to figure out what is your meaningful difference? How do you separate yourself from everyone else? And so maybe I would talk about in your about page how, like you said, you focus in on one thing. You want to be the best of photography and make sure it's done really well. I guess I would do this, Stephanie. I would start partnering with a videographer, not in a direct way, not in some sort of profit sharing way, but partner with a videographer in such a way that they're going to do video coverage. And when a client says, do you do photo and video? Say, hey, I'm so glad you contacted me. I specialize in photography and I've got an amazing friend of mine who comes alongside and provides video coverage when it's interested. We'd love to get a chance to meet. And then you can essentially refer that bride on to that company, right? That you could essentially share that work with. I'd figure out the verbiage and how to explain that, but maybe I'd buddy up with a videographer and make sure they get all of your referrals. So that way when this question comes about, you get to say, here's a videographer I work with at every wedding when you want both. Let me show you some of their work, all right? Yeah, there you go, Peter. Answer, find a company who does it and team up. Exactly. But I actually don't recommend teaming up in a real way. Like not in any sort of profit sharing way. I think it becomes more of just like a mutual verbal, like, hey, I'm going to send you people. Hey, I'm going to send you people. Cool thing. Gary, team up with the video guy. Anybody else have that problem, by the way? Is anybody else experiencing that? My guess is it's something with Stephanie's local market that's going on. Okay, cool. Peter asked a question. What company do you use to make your wedding info packets? Dude, so I hired a graphic designer to design it. You guys, I'd probably recommend not doing that because it's really expensive, having a custom graphic designer do it. You should go on creativemarket.com, and you could do a search for wedding magazine, wedding packages, information book, something like that, and you'll find designs that you could start to build it out of. In terms of where you get that printed from, I just did a Google search. I couldn't even remember who it was, to be honest. I'd have to go look. But I did some sort of Google search for like how to print a perfect bound magazine or something like that, and it's just a cheap press printed magazine that we do for our clients. Okay, cool, you guys. Look, unless there's any other questions, I really appreciate you guys showing up, being present, asking questions, being a part of the conversation. It means the world to me, you guys. The next email that I have is going out here in a little bit today. Keep an eye out for that. It's tip number 3, just for helping to generate traffic and leads to your business. It's the long play. Adobe Slate, great job, Gary. Anyway, it's a long play, but it's necessary. Otherwise, next week, I'm going to be putting out a ton more information on what exactly we're going to be releasing here in terms of the video course. Peter, abundance dates for 2017. Peter, I'm trying to line something up for April, maybe early April. Fingers crossed. What Peter's referring to is twice a year, you guys, I hold a workshop. It's a 3-day long, super intensive workshop. It's like 9 a.m. to like midnight for 3 straight days at my home for 12 photographers. I've done it twice a year, and it like explodes hearts and melts faces. It's honestly, it's really freaking good. But anyhow, so I'm still thinking about dates, Peter. The pregnancy is kind of, originally we were going to do late April, but because that's when the twins are born, I think I'm going to try to squeeze one in early April. We'll see. Let me know if you're interested in that. There's a wait list currently for it. And so if you want in, there's a wait list. Anyhow, you guys, let's see, a couple of the questions came in. Angel says this: I have a phone call with a lead today. Any last minute tips? Don't talk about photography. Ask them questions. Don't assume you know what they mean. And so when they tell you something, dig and go deeper and ask them, what does that mean to you? When they tell you that their fiance is just a really cool dude, say, what does that mean to you? Like when you say he's a cool dude, like what does that actually mean to you? I really want to understand this better, right? So dig deeper. What does that mean to you? Amy says this: April, I've already saved up and ready to book. Awesome, Amy. I can't wait, girl. Yeah, I'll work on getting some dates here figured out. Ryan says this: anyone out there considering abundance, do it. Dude, Ryan, thank you so much. Ryan attended abundance, and Ryan and Lacey already are doing great things, and it's been really cool to see. But I'm excited to hear that abundance has really helped you guys out. So that's so awesome, Ryan. Thank you so much for that. Where's the wait list, Cody? We just dropped a link right down below you there for the wait list for abundance. So go ahead and check that out. It's like the greatest thing ever. It's probably where I meet some of my closest friends is through abundance. So anyhow, you guys, thank you. I appreciate you. We'll see you Monday. Otherwise, keep going hard. Look for that email from me. Bye, you guys. Cheers.